Hello my fragrance lovers and my good smelling companions, Dominic here, and today, as requested by Jack, one of my subscribers, we're doing a bit of a breakdown of the Cologne collection I have so far. I'm just telling you whether perhaps I found a kind of signature one yet, or which one would it be out of these ones here, and telling you a bit about the performance and just trying to sort of keep it in order, you know, which one I bought first and blah blah blah. And I'll try not to make this too rambly or anything. And unfortunately, well, there's at least one that I don't any longer, oh, there's two anyway, that I don't any longer have the bottle for, which is a shame. But the other ones pretty much are all here. There is only one amongst these that I've only bought two of. We'll get to that. So let's get into this, and I just sit back and enjoy. This is a bit. This is again a bit more sort of for fun. I mean, it's not going to be terribly informative. It's sort of based on kind of my experiences with these colognes, and if some of them, one or two in here, really interest you, then there's probably a longer review of it somewhere else. But we're going to do a little kind of just a little you know, breakdown of which one came first, and then how it did, and etc. So let's get started. Now, the first one I ever got, which was by accident, in fact, but we won't get into that. It was Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme. Okay, I do have the sample for it, but I did also buy the bottle, which I no longer have. With this one, they do say that the older version was better, etc., and you know, this is a reformulation and thumbs down, but it's actually still, it's really quite a nice cologne. So I'm just going to get a little, let's open that up. You can see there's still a little bit in there. It was a long time ago I got that. If I can actually open it. But this one is, yeah, that's ah, yes, I'd almost forgotten that, the what it smelled like. That's lovely. So it's sort of it's a little bit kind of exotic. It's kind of like the one you'd have kind of on the beach with sort of palm trees. Well, it's got that kind of soapy, fresh, clean kind of thing going on. So this one is a bit of a soapy one. It's got that kind of fresh, soapy, kind of out on the beach type of theme going on. It works quite well, as in like. It's not absolutely amazing. It's kind of one of those ones to keep it on all day. You probably need to reapply, you know, depends how long kind of a day we're talking about, you know, once or twice really. I mean, or else you could put a whole load on and hope it does the job. So I'm not thrilled with the performance. I love the scent there. And if it was a little stronger, went out a bit more, I'd be thrilled with it, absolutely thrilled. But it's still a good cologne. It's really nice. For my first one, I thought, that kind of had me hooked. Yeah, men's perfumes are something worth looking more into and trying different ones, and so I started looking up some that are different ones that I might like to get, and I think you know, I definitely wanted to get my hands on Dolce & Gabbana the one, but I think the next one I actually ended up getting for fairly cheap enough, and this one was John Varvatos Vintage. So yeah, Pour Homme was great. I moved on soon enough from that one, and then this was my next one. So this one was altogether fairly different. I thought it was just like, you know, very different kind of thing going on there. Oh yeah, no, this one is a totally different thing going on. It's also a really, really nice cologne. This one is your kind of your formal man. He's in formal wear. Suit. It's almost a bit jazzy, like in a kind of a bit of a kind of in a jazz lounge. You could almost kind of get a whiff of that. It's also it kind of gives the vibes of like cigar, leathery, woody. You know, but it's kind of classy. It's formal, a little bit sexy, but it's more sort of you know, it's got that manliness. It's got that sort of sophistication maybe. Yeah, it's classy, it's formal, it's a little bit vintagey, you know, as it says on the thing. It's kind of got this vintage vibe going on. So they've named it well, and they've bottled and packaged it well. It's just nice scent to have around you, and but yeah, it's that formal kind of scent. It does well. Again, it doesn't do amazing. And it's the kind of one I'd be okay with it not being like too loud and boisterous and bold and all of that. I'm okay with that one being a little bit close to my skin, because it just has that sort of it's not a big notice me thing, but it's got that nice little aura of somebody who's got class and who knows how to do the formal thing, how to be formal. And for him, it's not all about drawing like way too much attention. It's about just having his own that real self-respect and like a nice kind of bubble that's not too outrageous. If that makes any sense, yeah, no, that one I love that a lot as well, and I think yeah, again, if it was for work, I think I ended up wearing this one, weirdly enough, but I think I should have been wearing this one more to the office than that one. But anyway, so I then did move on, and I bought, after that, it was Dolce & Gabbana the one, a 50ml version of that bottle. Whew. And here is what it looks like. Okay, so it's that lovely, elegant, kind of rectangular, thick glass bottle, and it's got that, just hits you with that sweetness. It's got that it's probably fruity. You can sort of see this person out in hot weather, and he's drawing the women, kind of thing. The idea is it's one that's kind of a magnet. So it's an attractive. It's also really quite alluring. It's sweet. It's subtle. It's extremely well blended. It's high profile. It's very popular. Does a brilliant job. It's probably a little better than the last two in terms of performance. Beautiful cologne. I do want to get that one again and review it properly. I never actually ended up reviewing that one, but that was one of the best. It's well, yeah. I mean, maybe if it was a little stronger, I'd be again over the moon about it. But it's by Dolce & Gabbana. People will smell it if you put it on. So don't get me wrong, it's a brilliant. It just smacks as soon as you put it on. It's got this nice, strong, but kind of a sweet and inviting sense to it. It's just sweet, fruity, probably a bit citrusy, probably a bit kind of vanilla-y. I'm not too sure though about the notes in that one now. Something I do have to review, but I just know that I loved that one. It was just like, it was a different scent altogether. It took my experience of perfumes to yet another level of like, wow, I need to get in and see what else there is in the cologne world. And it was a lovely kind of moment when I started smelling that. I was like, wow, they got some really good stuff out there. And that top that kind of comes off, that kind of, they all have their own special unique design, and this one is like the favourite design obviously I've had so far. It's just brilliant. So I really enjoyed that one very much. Then I went on and we then got Stronger With You Intensely, if I'm not mistaken, by Armani, because I'd smelled this one and I thought, my gosh, well, I loved the one, but the compliments I was getting off this were outstanding. And I mean, if I'd been wearing it in the same amount or in the same situations, I'd probably been getting just as much perhaps with the one. But this is the only one that I've ever bought 2 bottles of, and the second one, as you can see, is finished pretty much. So shows how much I love that scent. Oh my god, that is absolutely adorable. That vanilla just comes straight out at you. This is the intense version. The other one did pretty well, and for me, I don't think I struggle to notice a lot of differences between the ordinary version and the intense version, but this will be a little more intense. Whoa, that sweet vibe. It's just sexy. It's absolutely inviting. It's got something a little bit different going on from the one. This one is I think it's more punchy, but it dies down perhaps a little quicker. But this one does say intensely, so it's the kind of one you get compliments, from guys, from girls, from it's like it is still for men, but it's It's got a real sweetness going on, and it's lovely. I think the vanilla, it's got an absolutely adorable opening, and then I think it dies down relatively quickly in my experience, but people can still smell it on you. And some people just have a good nose, and they'll still smell it within after maybe 6 hours, 7 hours maybe. If they're close enough to you, they'll still smell it maybe after 6 hours. Yeah, it's one that it will die down, and you might want to kind of, if you're going out for a whole day, might want to carry a travel version or something with you. So it's good for going out for something where you'll only be half the day, or a night, or something that'll take up to a couple of hours. Blast a bit of that on, and you'll get compliments pretty soon, I'd say, with that. It's just noticeable. It's I've got them from this, pretty much. I don't know, maybe more than other ones, but not too sure about that. But this is really lovely. It's the only one I've ever got 2 versions of. That is Giorgio Armani. Where's this one? Yeah, Imperial Armani. Sorry. Yeah. Stronger with you intensely. Okay. Let's see what we've got next up. Then after I'd gotten that one, I think the next one I got was this fairly random one that people don't really know. I should probably leave a link in the description if people really be interested. But it's made by this Irish guy. It's one of those little ones you get you find in this is Marks and Spencer's, the name of the shop, and this one is called Vetiver and Cedarwood, and it's really good for being a cologne that only costs 24 quid. And Dermot O'Leary is the name of the guy. So should we give this one a little sniff as well? See what it smells like. Wow, yeah, it's quite unique. It's got it's quite distinct. It's got the vetiver, the cedarwood. I can smell the woodiness. I can smell the vetiver. That sort of kind of a moist freshness, herbal, moist, fresh, and woody. It's very nice actually. It's really lovely. All I can remember is I did come into a room with this on, and somebody at the other end of the room said, "Wow, that's brilliant perfume." But I think I had just applied it I don't know, 15 minutes ago. So obviously it was still fresh then, but it's obviously got quite a good projection on it. They've done a nice soft design. I mean, it looks like you get a fair amount in that. No, yeah, that one is a bit. It's not one that the average person would have heard about at all. But that's a nice little perfume that I added to my collection for a nice bargain. So then after that, I think the next cologne I went on to get was Invictus. That's this fellow over here. I think the bottle design kind of was an interesting feature for me. Still have some of that in there. Now this stuff has got a good presentation. I mean, this that's okay. I mean, yeah, it's a nice little thing. It's got something going on here. It's nice. This is by Paco Rabanne, Invictus. It's not like any of their latest ones. They have a few kind of versions that look similar, flankers kind of thing. One of them is called Legend now. I think that might be their recent one. Yeah, let's give it a spray. I think it might be struggling. It might be towards the end of the... There we go. Sorry about that. Yeah, now this one... I'm thinking water, oh, that's right, there was another one called Invictus Aqua, and I think that's kind of similar to this one, but this has really got that seaside kind of thing going on. It really is, you just spray it and you think of a guy walking on the beach, and the sun blazing and glancing off the rocks, and he's on the Bahamas. That's what this stuff smells like. It's it really is your exotic fragrance. Would be a bit weird to wear in the winter. I think it's kind of just, it goes with that summer vibe, but you could throw it on. And again, this one, yeah, I got compliments from people that were in a different room. So apparently it does fairly well. I'm not too sure for how long it lasts, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's fairly average. I can't quite remember with this thing, but I think you get an ordinary bargain out of it. You have to love that kind of vibe of going out and having that summer kind of aura smell about you, and in that case it would be worth your while getting something like this. Yeah, and then if you're somewhere where outdoors is kind of a thing, is part of what you're doing, then again this is nice to have, especially if there's a bit of sun on it. You know, it just seems to me to go well with what they're trying to sort of say through this thing. It's like the guy walking amidst the palm trees and the rays of sunshine, and then the beach or surfing or something like that. That's what I get off this one. Now I don't have all the notes with me here, but I'm going to give you kind of the idea and some of the performance info that I have on these ones. So I was happy with that one. I didn't go on to buy any more brands. I thought time to move on. I'll try different ones. But yeah, I think it was one that I certainly got complimented with, and you know, for when the sun was out, you know, that was the day to be wearing that stuff. Although, you know, you could say that with Dolce & Gabbana the one, but that one could be a bit more seasonal. This one I think is best for like more outdoors in the sun, pretty much. Then I think the next one I got was the old beast. So, Creed Aventus. Yeah, I finally did it. It was like, you know, I was like, I'm ready to buy pretty much one of the most popular, probably top selling still in the world, colognes for men. I'm not going to treat you to a spray of this. Sorry guys. Oh yeah. So it's got that absolute beautiful splash of pineapple on the opening. I mean, it's got countless notes in it. It's just like this sophistication, this classiness, and this touch of royalty that they've got in there. This kind of manly thing that just exudes kind of class and manliness and inviting kind of that sexy vibe that goes with it. But it's got everything. It's like it works for everything. That's why some people, they buy it and then that's them done. It's like they don't want to do anything else. They don't want to go back. They just want to use Aventus. I mean, the box is one of the most stunning things I've ever seen. The stuff that comes in it, you know, it's really quite adorable. It's a luxury fragrance. That's all there is to say about it, guys. I've never really had issues with it. Obviously, it's not really within my budget. You know, that's what a lot of people will say about Creed Aventus. But other than that, it's absolutely amazing. Yeah, again, it kind of hurts to use it because it's pricey, you know. So that's Aventus. It performs amazingly. It lasts pretty much forever. So it's got really long projection. It's got really good punchy. You know, it's got great. It lasts for ages. It's got great projection. It does everything. It's kind of for everything, for everyone. So basically, it's kind of the clone that sort of hit the jackpot, and it's still marching for. It's very great. Yeah, no, that's Creed Aventus. I'd use it if I know there's a lot of people and we're all going out somewhere and I don't mind being noticed, and you know, I'd use it to something formal, you know, an occasion, an event. Yeah, I wouldn't really just. I think if you want to be kind of a bit kind of that guy, he's kind of like he's chatting the women up and he wants to be sexy. Well, I mean, there's loads of other better ones you could use, like for Sachet Eros, for example. You could use that stuff and you do a fine job. You could use Strong With You Intensely, and of course you could use Lamal. There's loads of others, you know. That stuff you got to be you've got to know when you want to wear that, because that is just a high profile cologne. I'd say where, you know, going to somewhere where there's going to be a lot of talking, kind of just with other kind of mature people. It's not about like the dating scene. It's just like you're out there and you're like perhaps like, you know, if I'm talking to other men or other women, but it's the occasion is something that's maybe it's revolving around a relative, maybe it's a bit of a more calm party or something like that, or it's somewhere where we're going out and we're going to learn something, maybe that kind of thing. But you know, that's me. I mean, I wouldn't be kind of throwing that on every day at all. Wearing it to work, maybe if there's something on at work, that would be a kind of the thing. And just to get those compliments at work sometimes, if you're feeling like your fragrance is your ego needs a bit of a boost with using them. Throw on some Creed Aventus. Okay, enough rambling about that. So then I think the next one we got then was La Mar by Jean-Paul Gaultier. Alright, this one, lots of people really like this cologne. I do as well. Let's see now. Yeah, there's just so many notes in it. It's just like, it's got that fruity, it's got that kind of appeal, it's got that like kind of seductive side to it. It's got yeah, it's it could be kind of a bit beachy, but then it's also, it's more versatile than that. So it's the versatile man who's like he's just not afraid to be out there. He's like successful, he's good with women. I mean, it's just you see the whole bottle design and everything is like it's just showing the whole male anatomy and everything, and it's just like the women do love it. So don't be afraid if you're wondering about which one will actually kind of do a good job with women, you know, just use that, you'll be absolutely fine. It does a really good job, they really love it. So this is the one you use really when you're around women and maybe you want to get a bit of attention, you want to strike up some conversations, use that. It's a lovely cologne. I haven't actually worn it consistently, like day after day after day, but I mean, I've certainly, I remember there have been people who have said, you know, that stuff is just, I guess the word is just lovely. It's just a lovely cologne. It's inviting, it draws, it's attractive, it's got that alluring nature to it, which they've just pulled off quite well with this one. It's got loads of juicy notes in there. It's got a fine old performance. It is very popular. It still is. It's great. It's something you could use pretty much in lots of situations and lots of seasons. I mean, I think it could even be like, you know, autumny, spring as well. Again, I think it might stand out kind of in the springish, where it's not too hot, or it's just like, I could be wrong about that. But no, I think I'd use this, you know, if I'm going out and, you know, I want to get talking to women and that kind of thing, I'd use this, you know, that's the kind of thing I'd use it for. If I know there's going to be women out where we're going. If I'm going out with men, you know, just to, you know, chill, have a few drinks or something, I may choose this, but I might go for something like, you know, this one here, like Acqua di Gio Profumo, for example. But this one is great because it's got stuff that other ones don't have. It's really bold. It's really gives you a bit of confidence using it. But that's what I'd say about that one. You know, I definitely wasn't disappointed purchasing La Mal. I had to have that in my collection. Okay. All right. Now we're on to Versace Eros. That's pretty much gone. I loved it. I used it. Pretty much used it up. It's got a lovely presentation going on. You know, that kind of gold and turquoise. Beautiful. These designs going on. Eros, you know, the god of love. You know, whatever it is. Yeah, that kind of thing. Okay, so let's give this one a little blast if we can. Oh. Oh man, that is absolutely lovely. It's just that initial kind of punch that you get from it. It's just like it's so rich, it's so manly, it's so kind of sexy, it's so kind of oh, the guy that uses this is just, he's about perfume. Like, you know, this is really saying, this is a statement cologne. This is like, notice me, I'm here, I need some attention. It's just like, whoa. I mean, yeah, again, going out places, going with your mates, that kind of thing. I don't know if I'd wear it at work that much. I mean, maybe, but and it's got that kind of clean freshness to it as well. So, again, versatile as well. Oh, they've just shoved loads of things. They've achieved a lot out of what they put into this. It's quite a special one. It's just lovely, absolutely. I'm gonna have to get more of it. I just like it so much. I've used it a lot. Well, for being a 13mm and having other ones as well. Oh, now I've got compliments from it, you know, from men and women. I've got brilliant projection from it. So like, it really does reach out and get people's attention. And it was designed as a statement cologne, and it just does a good job. Highly recommended. You can hardly go wrong with it. It's a bit strong, alright. It is a bit bold, if you don't mind. Really kind of throwing out that kind of you know, that kind of appeal and a kind of you know. So that's Versace Eros. That was a brilliant one. Again, it was one of the ones suggested. Most of these pretty much have been by subscribers, and that's how I got into, you know, reviewing them. So that's Versace Eros, brilliant cologne as well. Then I think I went off and I ended up getting this. So Maison Margiela replica Jazz Club. Okay, again, this stuff is kind of different altogether. They got quite a nice range. There's one called By the Fireside. That one's also very popular. There's people that go for this type of a brand. So we'll give this one a little go, and we'll start talking about this one as well. Wow, talk about a rich opening. So yeah, it's got a great atomizer there. A bit of a funny design, if you ask me. I think they could have probably done better than this kind of fabric, and then just kind of looks almost like a bottle of shampoo or kind of bathtub lotion or something like that. But it's okay. I mean, it's got that French. It's a very kind of French one again, I think. The disappointing thing is that actually I have used it a fair bit, but it turns out you need to reapply it quite a bit to keep getting that vibe, those notes. But as for being noticed, it's not too bad. It seems as though people still seem to get a waff of it. So I struggle sometimes smelling it on myself, and I sometimes wonder, well, is it still going? Is it still working? Like, is it doing its job? I'm a little bit skeptical of this one. I'm a little bit disappointed. Also, it's got quite a big price on it, so be careful about buying this one. Maybe check it with a few samples, sniff it yourself, and see whether it's worth buying. But it has got a beautiful opening. It's got some lovely rich notes. It really captures that jazz club lounge kind of people with cigars, kind of, you know, the jazz music and the trumpet kind of thing going on. It's got lots of nice things going on, and you know, it is for people that love sort of the jazz scene. If you like that, then this is probably worth getting, just to get that vibe going with that. So I think that's kind of ordinary. Well, I'm even going to say it does a little poor with performance for its price anyway. But a lovely, adorable scent, and if you can get it reduced, it's probably worth going for. It's really, really nice. I think we're getting towards the end. Now, I don't know if we should really be counting samples, but we have already looked at 2 little samples of Boss. So I got Boss Bottled, which I really, really like. It's got fresh, versatile, appley, kind of fruity. Yeah, it's very fruity, this one, and it's very kind of, well, it's quite safe. It's quite ordinary, and it's a bit of an all-rounder. It's versatile. It's okay, you know. I think it's one of my favourite out of the Boss collection I've done so far. Then you have Boss the Scent. It opens up with ginger. You know, it's I can't get this open, unfortunately. It's too much hassle. Yeah, no. I did review 2 of these. You can see those there in the previous video, a few back from this one. I did prefer this one out of these 2, and I think this one lasts longer as well, and to me it has more of an appeal. This one, it's a little more simple, but you have to, I think it's a bit of a kind of a happy vibe you're supposed to get off it or something like that. But yeah, these 2 were interesting to review quite briefly, just as little samples. Then I got Boss Infinite, and unfortunately that is over in my London base, so I don't have it there here at the moment. So yeah, that one also had that sort of I think what I liked about it was it got that kind of gentleness to it. If you're not in the mood to have your fragrance distracting you, who doesn't want that? If you just want to get on with your work or something and not have to think about, but you can still say, well, I've done my job, I've put my cologne on this morning. It does a nice, gentle job of just that kind of, you smell good, but there's not a big, loud statement about it, even though it says it's an eau de parfum. And it's just that reliable cologne. It's just enough to give you that kind of confidence that you smell good, and you've got a versatile cologne that nobody's going to complain about. In fact, it smells nice. People will probably give you some compliments with it. I haven't worn it around too many people, so I haven't got much yet from it, compliments wise. But I think it's a nice perfume. I also think it's a little weak though for being an eau de parfum, unfortunately. So be careful about buying that one. Get some samples on, and then just see whether you think it's worth getting. Okay, and then I think the final one I have here is my Acqua di Gio Profumo, and we've just reviewed this recently. I'm delighted with it. It's still going. Still very happy with this one, and oh, it's a rich, sophisticated, classy, well performing cologne. It's just you know, I'd have to kind of say, you know, I can't really afford to have Creed as my signature scent, although that probably would be it for me. This stuff now is what I'm kind of hooked on. This would be the signature scent out of my collection, definitely, and by quite a margin, in fact. I mean, I do love Strong With You intensely, but it wears off. This is just steady going and just fruity. It's just got manly, deep, classy, rich. It's got everything going, and I just really like it. Okay, I better call the video to a halt because this has gone on for a long time. So thanks for joining me again for another interesting cologne video. Been great seeing you again, and we'll catch you in another video. March forward, smelling good.